Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Maverick Chess. Whether you're listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube, thank you so much. And whether you're on one of our podcast platforms, or my podcast platforms, that being Spotify, Apple Music, or Amazon Music, we're talking about the Esports World Cup. It is returning for 2026, and we now know how the players are going to qualify. And there are lots of thoughts, there are lots of opinions, but there's lots to discuss. So, for those on podcast, I have now put up a graphic of the qualifying paths, and all of it is associated with chess.com events. Now, chess will return to the global esports stage following the highly successful debut in 2025. The qualifying cycle for the 2026 Esports World Cup will see major changes, making it bigger, better, and more competitive, according to chess.com on their website. The Champions Chess Tour in 2025 served as the primary pathway for this year's Esports World Cup, with, of course, the top players qualifying, and then there were some wildcard entries, or not wildcard entries, last chance qualifiers. Where the world's best players competed for a substantial prize fund, huge fan enthusiasm, a high class production team, and significant investments in chess from the world's biggest esports organizations. While the inaugural season was a triumph, its short qualification window with just two CCT events left room for more. Yes, I mean, the tournament was praised very widely by all manner of chess enthusiasts. Levi Rosman sent out a tweet, email, even Emil Shatovsky. He wasn't the biggest fan of it, but he said it was very good. And it was well produced and all that stuff. The level of chess was absolutely brilliant. For the 2025-2026, or for those years, chess.com will unite its three most prestigious events under one umbrella. Title Tuesday, the Speed Chess Championship, and the returning Chess.com Global Championship, the CGC. Together, these events will form the new Champions Chess Tour, the CCT, which will qualify 12 players for the Esports World Cup in 2026. So it seems like the Champions Chess Tour as we know it may be finished come the end of this year, which I haven't seen spoken about a bit. We'll wait to see if it plays out, because the way the CCT currently unfolds, they have events throughout the year, the Chessable Open, the Jules Breyer Generations Cup, all these types of tournaments, or the Chessable Masters rather, and it culminated in the live finals. I mean, it was one of the first YouTube videos I did in like November, December of last year, and I will cover the finals again this year. But it seems like that might be dead as we know it, and they're going to be creating this new Champions Chess Tour. The expanded system offers three qualification paths and year-round competition, alleges chess.com. So 1. Title Tuesday. Players can earn points from their best 8 Title Tuesday performances across 3 Grand Prix splits. The new season kicks off with Split 1 on September the 2nd. So I'm assuming these are just like 3 windows. So your best 8 tournaments from in Split 1 September to November of 2025, then December to February, that being 2025/2026, and then March to May of 2026. So I assume it'd be like 1 player in each. The Speed Chess Championship, a very famous event, the $250,000 event, is starting in October 2025 and concluding in February 2026 with a live final. Last year it was fantastic. It's strange that it's not finishing this year. Obviously, they've had some schedule changes. And then the returning Chess.com Global Championship. Qualifiers will begin in March 2026 and the playoffs conclude in May. The event will also feature a $250,000 prize fund. So lots of money being thrown around here. The top 3 finishers in the SCC and the CGC automatically qualify, and there will be no extra spots for repeat qualifiers. Further spots will be decided by the overall CCT Tour leaderboard until there are 12 players qualified. Remaining spots and qualification will be announced at a later date. Excuse me. You can't see on camera and obviously on podcast. I'm going to take a sip of something. So Danny Range, the Chess.com CCO, Chief Chess Officer, had this to say. The 2024-2025 EWC final was a massive success for chess, and Chess.com was thrilled to support the qualification cycle with two great events. In this next season, we are doubling down in every way, with bigger prize funds, more qualification parts, more broadcasts, and a live final. The 2025-2026 cycle is going to be incredible, and we can't wait to launch it. Magnus Carlsen is, of course, the defending champion after a spectacular and highly entertaining final against Alireza Firouzja. And, of course, in the semi-finals was that image where he was shushing the crowd, not the cloud, against Hikaru Nakamura. The Norwegian is guaranteed a place in the next EWC and said in the following statement, "I'm excited for a second year of EWC chess. This new qualification cycle means more events and more chances for the world's best players to meet me back in Riyadh." So that kind of summarizes the graphic that you've got in front of you, as I can take it down now. That means nothing for podcast listeners. Look, lots of thoughts. I've kind of made them a bit clear as I've gone through. So the Champions Chess Tour, as we know it, as I said earlier, might be dead. Which is a bit of a shame. I kind of enjoyed it a little bit. I really found it entertaining. But Chess.com's doubling down with their current events, the SEC and Title Tuesday every week. But that's also a problem. And, the chess world has recently broken down into massive... I want to say they're kind of split at the moment in regards to Title Tuesday. I will make a video of Fabiano Caruana and Hikaru Nakamura, their recent spat over how much cheating is there in Title Tuesday. Because Chess.com says it's very little. All the top players are alleging there's a lot. And if this is going to be the qualification path, or one of the qualification paths, to get to the Esports World Cup, it needs massive improvement. Just to kind of ease over the doubts that the top players will have, because they are convinced there's lots of cheating. Look, you do need to have 8 good events to secure a point or a place from one of these splits, or to get really high on the leaderboard. But if the cheating is as big a problem as these top players allege, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. So the cheating situation on chess.com, if there is a big one, it needs to be looked at. That is something that is undeniable. If all of the qualification is going to be online, I do get it's esports and they're going to play on computers. Even when they were live in Riyadh, it was fantastic. You can get them. They're facing each other but with the screens. It was really, really cool. If you're not going to have events like that where they're playing in person in front of a screen and players are going to be able to qualify from the comfort of their home from all of these events, it's a problem. Look, the SEC, I don't know if it's going to be just the final or if it's going to be the semifinals again. That will be in front of a live audience, so that minimizes cheating as much. I mean, I don't think anyone will be able to cheat for that. They'll be able to watch their screens. It's not going to happen. It's something they can't always do in Title Tuesday. They can't have everybody having the most secure places to play. They can't have everybody screen sharing every screen that they've got, particularly the streamers. I don't know. You'll have to let me know down in the comments. Do you think the chess cheating is as bad as we think on chess.com, as bad as the top players think? It's not that bad, or is it just paranoia from top players? Which is interesting, and it's something we're going to discuss. What do you think of the qualification path for the Esports World Cup 2025-2026? I think it looks really exciting. My broad view, I think it's really exciting. So I think they had 8 players qualify from the Champions Chess Tour this year, who the top 8 players were, which I think was fair enough, kind of. And then they had the 4 last chance qualifiers. maybe you could have looked at that again. Those type of events, because I think they're very entertaining and they create great stories and narratives. I love a last chance qualifier, a wild card entry, a wild card pick. It's always really cool. But it's fair to say that you need these types of qualification parts that are clear and set. Much like the candidates, which I made a video about, it's great. It really is great. But let me know. Esports World Cup 2026 is coming. It's coming, and we best be ready. Chess.com best be ready. September is when Split 1 of Title Tuesday starts. Speed Chess Championships in October, or starts in October. Oh boy. Things are going to happen for this event, and they're going to happen fast, and we'll be covering it all right here. Until I see you, or until you hear from me again. Cheers. Hope you have a good day.